Shawty make that ass clap, she don't need no clothes. High fashion, like Goya, G-Wagon, or the Rover. I put some ice on you cause you gotta go. I know I gotta keep my shawty on go. Drop that ass to the floor. Whoa, yeah.
Y'all, it's your girl Sid Simone, and I'm coming at you with another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing something that's a little risky because I know that the stigmas surrounding this are still very present in this country, in some places, and not even just, in the country as a whole, but within people as well. Yep, here we go, you guys. Today we will be talking about the devil's lettuce. Today we will be talking about the misconceptions, some common misconceptions of cannabis. And I know you guys are probably like, if you are watching this and you don't get down with, the happy plant, you're probably like, oh God, like it's another crackhead coming to try to tell us why it's not that bad. Yeah, it is. So if you don't want to watch this, click out. That's all I can really tell you. But anyways, here we go. So I wrote down some things. Usually I don't write down stuff because I usually remember what I'm going to talk about before I talk about it. But lately, I just have been so busy that I haven't had time to focus on this, obviously, because, things like schoolwork, which I obviously am going to put over, cannabis and the devil's lettuce and all. And that's one of those misconceptions that we're going to be talking about today, because a lot of people really don't think that you can be successful or be smart or, do anything with value and purpose if you smoke cannabis. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's get right into it. So a lot of people say that all stoners are stupid and lazy. And I just want to talk about how that is wrong, because I know a lot of successful stoners and I know a lot of successful people who, partake in cannabis related activities. I'm not encouraging it, by the way. This is a disclaimer before we get too deep into this. I am not encouraging the use of cannabis in any way unless it's, medicinal or, of that variety. But if you are in an illegal state, please do not partake in this. Please don't get yourself in trouble. It's not worth it, because it's just not. And if you are under the age of 18, I'm gonna need you to click out of this video, because I'm not trying to get demonetized. I mean, I'm not monetized anyway, but I don't want YouTube to take this down. So sorry, you gotta go. Honestly, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not smoking or anything, so I guess you can listen to it. But if you are under the age of 18 and you think that I'm trying to encourage this behavior, please do not think that, because I'm really not. Who is bumping music? But yes, okay. So all stoners are lazy and stupid. Not true, because I actually know some people who have 4.0 GPAs and they smoke cannabis or ingest cannabis almost every day. I'm even living proof of it. I do partake in cannabis related activities, I will not lie. You guys already know that if you've seen my lit videos. So yeah, and I have made Dean's List every year since I've got to college. I have a 3.7 GPA. Let's see what else. We out here thriving, and you can't be like, oh, well, it's because you're a music major and that stuff is easy, because first of all, it's not. Second of all, I've actually done way more than just music classes, because I've changed my major twice now. I've used to be a nursing major, so of course I took some classes towards that, some sciences and stuff like that, my gen eds and all. I have always been very smart. I just didn't apply myself in high school. So once I got to college, I really went in on it, and it didn't matter that I smoked or that I did anything, you know, related to cannabis, because I'm always on top of my stuff. My work comes first, and that's something that people need to realize about some stoners, like, or some people who partake in cannabis related activities. Not all of us just sit on the couch all day and do nothing. There are some very productive people who partake in cannabis. And I'm actually put y'all on. So this girl, Hannah Janelle, that I watch, her name on YouTube now is Ganja Prima Donna. And she has a real job, like a real job. Like, she has her degree. She has a real job. She has, you know, she's very successful. She doesn't even look like she, you know, smokes. I'm gonna insert some pictures and all, and I'm gonna let y'all see, like, she doesn't look like she partakes in any of that type of stuff, and she's extremely successful. So, you know, you can't just judge a book by what it does, you know. I don't know. You just can't judge people and be like, oh, they're just, oh, since they do this, they're automatically gonna, you know, be like this. I mean, that's like stereotypes when it comes to race. Oh, all black people eat watermelon and they drink Kool-Aid. First of all, I do love watermelon, I'm not gonna lie. But Kool-Aid nasty, and yeah, so like, yeah, just don't just go judging people based off of what they do, because you never know. So that's that lesson there. No, not all stoners or all cannabis smokers or ingestors or whatever you want to say. Not all of us are lazy. Like, I work pretty hard, and that's why I partake in cannabis related activities, because after a long stressful week, freaking out, making sure assignments are turned in on time, making sure that everything, you know, papers are done and all, after a long stressful week of that, I just want to relax. And sometimes my mind races, so it's not helping that I just meditate or I just watch TV and just relax or whatever. Like, sometimes I need a little extra help. So yeah, that's that on that. Number 2, smoking weed causes memory loss. Like, you're not gonna remember anything if you smoke marijuana. Like, that's not true, because I have a very good memory, like a very good memory. I still remember stuff that happened to me when I was like 4. In fact, sometimes when I'm lit, that's when I remember where stuff is the most. I remember I was around a friend and I couldn't find my chapstick for, like, I just couldn't find it for nothing. Then I smoked a little bit and I was like, watch me find it while I smoke. And guess what? I found it. I knew exactly where it was. And I'm not saying that it helps with that or anything. I'm just saying, like, for me personally, sometimes when I'm lit is where I have the best memory. Like, a lot of people think that you get really clouded in the head when you get lit, and you do to a certain extent, but like, if you've been doing it for a while, like when you first start doing it, you will definitely not know what you're doing. Your motor skills will be all over the place. It'll be a mess. But as you continue to build up your tolerance, things get much easier. Like, I can cook when I'm, you know, lit and all. I can do pretty much anything that I would do when I'm sober. So, except for driving. Do not do that. Do not do that. Honestly, I never really drive while lit. I always wait until, like, I'm, you know, buzzed, I guess, or like until I feel like I'm comfortable with it. I will never get in the car if I know I'm too lit to drive. And that's one thing that I think some people don't get about me, like, because I've actually had somebody say something about that one time. One of my friend's parents saw a video of mine, was like, oh my gosh, she's driving while lit, that's the craziest thing she's done, and oh my goodness, and da da da. I was not that lit when I did that. Trust me, I was not that lit. I know in the video I kind of over exaggerated. It was like, oh my gosh, like, this is the worst time I've ever, you know, driven while. No, I really was not. Like, literally, like, it was cold outside, and once I stepped outside to get to my car, that cold air knocked that litness right out. Like, I was pretty sober by the time I got in the car. I was literally, I'm not gonna lie, like, I usually don't do the most for my channel because I always like to keep it real with y'all. But that night, I think I was really trying to hold on to it, but it was going away. And I was just like, dang, Like, whatever. So I wasn't that lit. Trust me, I do not drive when I'm super, super lit. I will never drive while I'm super, super lit. Don't do that. Don't drive at all while you're lit. Yeah. But yeah, it doesn't cause memory loss for me. Like, I can remember things pretty well. Like, and I've always had a good memory. Like, I know directions right off bat. I know things that happened to me, like I said, when I was like 4. I know, like, my family, they know that I don't forget anything. I don't forget anything. So if you do me dirty, guess what? I'm gonna remember it for the rest of my life. And that's just how I am, no matter how much cannabis I smoke. So, all right, next we have smoking ruins your life. Smoking marijuana, it ruins your life. No. Once again, like we discussed earlier, there are people who have been successful while smoking. The girl I was referring to earlier, she lives in a legal state, so of course she can thrive in that environment. So she's thriving, she's successful, she has a degree, she has a real job, a corporate job, and she's doing really well for herself. So it doesn't necessarily ruin your life. I think everybody is different. Everybody, you get it how you live, basically. If you let it ruin your life, it will. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If you let it ruin your life, yeah, it will. But if you are like me or are like people like the girl I referred to earlier, and you prioritize, then I think you should be fine. Like I said earlier, I put my schoolwork over everything. I put a job, like if I have a job and I'm trying to make some money, I put that over everything. Like I get to the bread, I get to the bag, I get to the grades, the A's, the B's, no C's, no D's, no F's, honey. I do this shit, So it's really not like, that one hit of marijuana is just automatically gonna be the worst decision you ever make in your life. Like, nah, not unless you make it that way. It's all up to you. So, another common misconception is marijuana is more dangerous than alcohol. Honey, no. We're about to debunk that right now with personal experience and facts. So first of all, alcohol, man, y'all think that marijuana is more dangerous than alcohol? Whoo, child, no. I'm telling you, I have never had a near-death experience with marijuana. Like, even with the bad trip or bad high or bad whatever you want to call it video that I did, if you want to go check that out, that was a brief moment of a freak out, like, oh, something's not right. But honestly, like, right then and there, it was like snap and I got it together. With alcohol, I've had to go to the hospital. Oh my gosh, hangovers and all. I've never had a hangover with marijuana. I've literally had the worst hangover of my life with alcohol. Like, literally, I remember one day after a night of partying and getting drunk, I literally could not even get out of the bed in the morning. And the only time I could get out of the bed is to throw up. And I couldn't eat anything. It was just horrible. Like, no, it's not more dangerous. Marijuana is not more dangerous than alcohol in my own personal experience. And also, if you guys want to talk about whether it kills people or not, the death rates of it, I will sit here and say that if you do things like, they always say if you are, high or stoned or whatever from marijuana or cannabis or whatever you want to call it, do not operate heavy machinery, which includes not driving, your cars, your forklifts, your stuff like that, And I agree with that. You should not do anything to put yourself in danger when you are partaking in cannabis. You should be in a safe environment, like your home or like wherever you are most comfortable, around people that you trust, So if you do dangerous things while high, from marijuana, you probably will, die, but that's gonna be on you, not the marijuana. So, and then they're like, oh, well, it impairs your judgment. So it is gonna be because what did I say earlier? Once you build that tolerance, It's just like going about normal everyday life. Like, I think people who say these misconceptions don't partake in it. So of course they don't know. But for me personally, and like I said, it's different for everybody. Personally, for me, I can, like I said, do everyday things as if I were sober when I'm lit. So it's really not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do something stupid because I'm high. I'm gonna swallow this. Like, no, it's not like that. I realize that when I'm sober, this is lip gloss. When I'm lit, this is lip gloss. When I'm sober, lip gloss goes on your lips. When I'm lit, lip gloss goes on your lips. Like, it's no different. And here's some facts to debunk that misconception of marijuana being more dangerous than alcohol. So a lot of studies showed, I did use some reliable sources. You know, we don't do that .org or .com. We know how to cite our sources, and we know how to know if they're reliable because we paid attention in English class, okay? So a lot of studies show that there is no real evidence of whether marijuana shortens your lifespan or your mortality. I just want you guys to read these articles a little bit and get some more information on it. I also have the rate of deaths per year caused by alcohol. So yeah, just educate yourself, you know, do some reading. It's always good to read, guys. It's always good to read. So now that you guys have read up on that stuff, I hope that helps you think a little bit more about that misconception and why it's a misconception. The only thing marijuana is useful for is getting lit. That is not true, because we have what's called CBD and hemp, and they are the medicinal parts of the marijuana plant, and they help with a lot of different things like insomnia, anxiety, loss of appetite, and stuff like that. And they do not get you high at all. They do not make you feel that way. And hemp can be used for a lot of different other things like fabric, paper, like you can make paper out of hemp. So honestly, if there ever needed to be a substitute for paper because we're cutting down all the daggone trees, you know, and we need that oxygen and we need to save trees, you know, one day, and it's like, okay, well, we got to figure out what else we're going to use for paper. Hemp. There's so much more to the marijuana plant than just getting high or lit or whatever you want to say. If you have a really bad medical condition and a lot of the medicines that are over the counter that doctors are prescribing aren't helping you, that is an alternative thing that you can look into, CBD. You won't get high or you won't have the psychoactive effects of it. Hemp and CBD help and you won't get high. So yeah, and a lot of people have been digging more into the CBD aspect of medicine and all. And that's why here where I live, CBD oil is actually, you know, legal, and we use it for medicinal uses and all. You can find it anywhere in like your local vape shops or like even at the gas stations, you can find it. And yeah, they have gummies, they have tinctures where you put it under your tongue. They have all different types of things. They even have the flower itself where you can smoke it like you would the THC, you know, part of the cannabis plant, the marijuana plant. But yeah, once again, it will not get you high, and it is very helpful for a lot of people. So look into that if you need other options. And the last misconception that I want to talk about is marijuana is something that everybody should use. That's a misconception to me personally, because like I said earlier in the video, everyone is different. Not everybody can have the same, you know, reaction to it. A lot of people do have certain medical conditions where it's like you should not mix this type of thing. It's just like with regular medicine that you get prescribed by a doctor, you know. You shouldn't, like if you're on certain medicines, you shouldn't mix alcohol with them. It's like that. Same thing with marijuana. And a lot of people do experience panic attacks sometimes when they go overboard with it, because there's this thing that I did some research on that this doctor was talking about. I will link that video in the description below if you want to see more, where he was talking about a therapeutic window where it's like if you do too much, you know, it's like a comfort zone, basically. Everyone has that certain comfort zone. And this is the comfort zone. When you go outside of it, you can have panic attacks. You can freak out. It's not for everyone. And then some people, their therapeutic window is so small that it's like, okay, you just can't deal with it. You just can't handle it. And you shouldn't try it. You shouldn't partake in it. I'm not going to encourage anybody. That's why I'm saying, like, when I made that disclaimer, I'm not encouraging anybody to do this or use this, because personally, I don't think that everybody should partake in it. Some people have, you know, bad experiences with it, and I just don't recommend it for everyone. If you would like to try it, then that's on you, you know, that's your decision. Yeah, but I'm not encouraging anyone to partake in it because I know it's not for everyone, especially if you have certain, you know, underlying medical conditions. I really don't recommend it. If you have to take some type of medicine for like diabetes or heart rate, you know, like blood pressure or something like that, like I just don't think you should mix those two things. So I think that's really all I wanted to talk about. I know there are more things like, oh, it causes schizophrenia. I did some research on that and found out that there are no known causes for schizophrenia. They did say, though, that people with schizophrenia are more likely to partake in cannabis. But no, it doesn't necessarily give you schizophrenia. I guess that's really linked to your family's, you know, mental health history. Like, I have some schizophrenic people in my family. I think I just have one. I don't know about everybody else, but I know I have one schizophrenic person in my family, and I don't know that, you know, marijuana will bring that out of me, because like research says, it doesn't cause it because there are no known causes to it. It's just, yeah, it's just something that I guess occurs. I don't know. But yeah, but that's all I really wanted to talk about, because I don't want this video to be too long. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I wanted to do a little 420 content because 420 is coming up. And speaking of 420, please stay tuned, because I have something special that's probably going to be a fail, but we're going to see about it. We're going to see about it. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. If you're new to this channel, subscribe. And if you want to keep up with my new posts that I will be doing every week, make sure you hit that post notifications bell. And guess what, babies? I think you already know what I'm about to say. I love you. Mwah. Bye.